What is going on? It is the I Hate Division previews, NFC and AFC South tonight. We got two great guests coming on tonight, one for both divisions. We're going to be doing mock drafts for both divisions. If you watched the last few weeks, you'll see that how we do it. We do it on Sleeper, and you can only draft players from that division. We'll also do some NFL futures, some DraftKings prop bets for some of the players in these two divisions, and of course, we'll have our nonsense draft. So stay tuned.
Going for two, kickers are extra, I give them the boot. Ooh, going for two, sit back, relax while I grab me a brew. Ooh, now I'm reclining while putting my time and I'm ready to go. My spine is aligning and much my lineups, my bank account grow. I am so rich, but knowledge is all that I'm leaving it with. Ooh, listen to this, multiple options, how far can I get? Ooh, DFS Dynasty redraft tonight, I'm not finishing last. I'm finishing past any and all, I am looking to last. What else? This spot is popping and I am so locked in and only opening the door when it is opportunity knocking. And all of these spots keep on talking and talking. So what are we talking? What kind of alignment? And running it deep, even players forgotten or came from the bottom or hitting that top. And this spot is popping, yeah, this spot is popping. And woo! This is the armchair, yeah. Put up your arms, yeah. Sound the alarm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo!
What is going on, and welcome to episode 424 of the Armchair Fantasy Show. I am your host, of course, Jeff Lambert. You can follow me on Twitter at JeffLambert77. I am here with my co-host who is back this week after he lost power last week. About 30 minutes before the show, he couldn't get on, but he is back this week. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, dude, it's glad to be back. His Captain Save a show, so we're cool.
All right. We got two great guests tonight, both returning guests, both of GoingFor2.com. First up, we have Chew. Of course, he's writer, ranker, podcaster for GoingFor2. You can follow him on Twitter at Father Dynasty. What's up, Chew?
What's up, everybody? Just glad to be talking the two worst divisions in football, Jeff. I know you said that may not be the case, but it's a 1A, 1B situation at best.
Yeah, it might be.
These are pretty bad.
It might be the worst teams as far as like records by the end of the season, but as far as fantasy players, the NFC East was pretty brutal. I mean, there wasn't even a tight end in that league that we really wanted to draft. It was pretty ugly. Also joining us tonight from Polly's Playoff Charity Tournament, Mr. Shane. You can follow him at FFShaneB. What's up, Shane?
What's up? And Chew, I told you, we're on our way up. Like, we're trending in the right direction.
All right, real quick, Shane, give us a quick rundown of what Polly's Playoff is.
Yeah, so Polly's Playoff is the charity tournament that I run each year. We're going into year 6, and because I turned 30 this year, I absolutely destroyed running backs. Like, I hate running backs this year. So the scoring is pinned to either my account or Polly's Playoff Twitter account. You can check it out there and register there. All the proceeds go straight to the Alzheimer's Association. And we are going to announce the winner of our contest for the longest day. For those of you that don't know, the longest day of the year is June 20th. And people with Alzheimer's, their symptoms are exasperated because there's more time in the day and they deal with sundown syndrome. So Jeff was gracious enough to grant me a personal league podcast as the prize for that. And the winner was Josh Reed. I can't remember what his Twitter handle is now, but Josh, you won, and I've already sent your information to Jeff for the league that you want to do for your POP, and that'll be August 22nd, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. It'll be on a Friday, the 22nd. And for those of you that don't know what a POP is, so it stands for Personal League Podcast. We do a 1-hour show dedicated to your league. We break down every single team. All of these guys have been on at least one of those PLPs. Most of these guys have been on a couple of them. Ryan tends to find a way to get out of them, but he has done them before.
One, maybe two.
Yeah. But they're a lot of fun. We break down your team. We break down your league. We look at it from our perspective and, talk about what we like and what we don't like. It's live, so your team can join, your league can join the chat and tell us how wrong we are, yell at Shane for his takes. Whatever the case may be. But yeah, that'll be on August 22nd. We'll do that PLP. All right, fantasy fans, are you tired of long, drawn-out drafts that never end? And it's time to level up at Fast Draft. It's the fastest, easiest way to draft to win real cash. These drafts literally take less than 5 minutes. You can do them on your lunch break or while waiting in line to get coffee. Right now, we got an offer for our listeners. Use promo code GF2 and get a 100% deposit match up to $50. That's double the cash for double the action. Jump right into lightning fast drafts, dominate your opponents, and get paid all in under 5 minutes. Go to fastdraft.com or get the app. Use promo code GF2. And I just saw today that Scott Fish has announced that he has some a Scott Fish Bowl fast draft contest on there as well. So if you're not already on there, you can go there, use GF2 to get the promo code, get $50, and then join the Scott Fish Bowl fast draft. So you can do that as well. I'm not sure how the scoring works, but I know that Fast Draft has leagues that are all flex. There's no quarterbacks; it's all flex. So it's a pretty fun way to do best ball. So go check that out. All right, so let's kick things off like we always do with the nonsense draft.
Attention, everyone! Let's mock draft.
All right, we haven't done one of the Battle Royale drafts in a while, so I was kind of coming up with
I
something.
think the last time I was on, we did.
yeah. When Shane's on, I try to get the Battle Royale ones going. But so this week we are doing things you would find in an office building to defend yourself in a Battle Royale fight to the death. And this ought to be interesting. Chew, you got the 101 here. So what are you going with?
I'm pretty excited about this. Hopefully it doesn't show some sort of like rage that I have pent up. But 2 jobs ago, I remember there was something specifically right next to me near me on my desk that I think would be pretty tremendous for this. It's basically like a paper cutter, but the blade has like a little arm like that pivots down to go like that. So you can break that off and I win.
Machete.
That is pretty nice. Yeah, I do have one of those paper cutters in my my office too. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. I definitely did not think of that one for sure. All right, Shane, it's gonna be hard to top. What do you got for the 102?
I think I'm going to cheat a little bit because this should be in all office buildings. I'm going fire extinguisher. You've got blunt force trauma and the foam for long range.
Yeah, I like it. Thinking outside the box. I like it. All right, Ryan, you got the 103.
I am going to grab a pair of surge protectors and use them like nunchucks. Swing them bitches around.
Yes. I love it. All right. I'm going to go outside the box a little bit too. And I'm going to get, everyone's got this Mr. Coffee maker. And I'm going to be making some boiling hot water that I'm going to be able to throw on y'all from a distance.
Nice.
So that could cause some pain there. And if I really panic, I can throw the glass carafe at you as well. So that's what I'm going with at the 104 here. Chew, back to you at the 201.
So this one is going for bulk, going for size, and this is a shout out to my favorite show, The Office. I'm going with the industrial sized copier that I can push down the stairs and crush someone at the bottom of the stairs.
Nice. I like it. Good stuff. Shane, you got the 202.
I'm going to go with a traditional stapler.
How are you going to use that to kill somebody? You're just going to hurt them.
I'm just going to staple them to death.
Staple their eyes shut.
Yeah, exactly. Staple their mouth shut. They'll suffocate.
I like it. All right, good stuff.
My mom's sitting over here probably freaking out like, what the hell is my son on right now?
All right, Ryan, you got the 203.
We're going small but mighty. We can put them anywhere. We can drop them on you. We can set them up trap style like Kevin McAllister. Tax. Nice. That's a good one. It will be a nuisance.
Good stuff. All right, I will wrap it up here. And I'm going to go into the janitorial closet, and I'm going to take the mop handle, and I'm going to use that as a melee weapon.
Nice.
I've combined that with some hot water, and we're good to go. All right, that was the nonsense draft for tonight. As I mentioned at the top, we are going to be doing our version of division previews. I've said this many times before, but as a content consumer, I always hated division previews. So when I was forced to do them as a podcast, I wanted to find an interesting way to do it. So we do them as mock drafts. We'll do the AFC South and the NFC South tonight. We can only draft people from that division. We're doing a 12-team SuperFlex 2-point PPR tight end premium, and it is Dynasty that we are thinking about tonight. So let me go ahead and get the...
Glad you clarified that.
Yeah, that is definitely an important piece for sure. Let me go ahead and get the the draft board up here. You will notice that there's only 4 teams, but there's 6 rounds, which is essentially 24 players. So it equals the same amount of players as a 2-round, 12-team league. Let me go ahead and get the draft started here. And Chu, you are the first on the clock here. So who is your player for the AFC South?
So this guy's been through a bit of a roller coaster in his, I would say at this point, fairly short career. But CJ Stroud, I think, I was not as high on him after his rookie season. I thought that it was going to flatten out a bit, but I'm hoping for them, surrounded by even more weapons. I'm a big Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel fan. So I'm really hoping that, that paired with Nico Collins, new offensive coordinator, everything, I think can help kind of balance this out and get him maybe a little bit closer to what he had in his first season. So go CJ Stroud.
I like it. And Nemo's chiming in here with Fire Axe. I guess the one that you break out of the glass.
Yeah.
There, I like that one. I didn't think about that one. All right, Shane, you got pick number 2 here.
Well, 2, because the other quarterbacks in this division aren't worth taking yet, I really appreciate you taking CJ Stroud so I can lean into my homerism here and go with Brian Thomas Jr. I am very excited as a Jags fan for what I'm hoping the Jaguars offense can be under Liam Cohen. Anything has to be more creative than what Press Taylor was doing. So I really think that they can only go up from here as far as at least play calling goes. And it's kind of a put up or shut up year for Trevor Lawrence, I think. But Brian Thomas Jr. helps that a lot. Good
stuff. I like that pick. I thought for sure you were going to go with your other boy, but you did that on the last episode. So we'll see. I'm sure you'll probably get him in round 2. Let's see. I am on the clock now, and I think there's one clear-cut guy that I'm going to go with. I'd like to go with the quarterback because it is SuperFlex, but I'm not really feeling the quarterbacks just yet. So I will take my boy. I talk about him a lot on my DFS podcast. I'm taking Nico Collins here. Chu already mentioned, he took CJ Stroud, and Nico Collins last year was the wide receiver 1 before he got injured. And then he wasn't really quite himself for a while, so he kind of fell off a little bit. But he's still a beast, and I think him and Stroud are going to have an amazing season. So I'll take Nico Collins here. Ryan, you got the back-to-back here.
I'm going to start with Jonathan Taylor. I feel like he had the quietest 1,400-yard, 11-touchdown season I've ever seen in my life. And he's just become kind of a boring pick. I feel like he's somebody who's fallen in like a ton of basketball drafts lately.
Yeah, he's become that boring running back that no one wants to click his name, but he definitely
will happily click his name.
Yeah,
I will happily click his name.
I think I did in Scottish.
And then, gosh, I feel like we've hit the first cliff in this division.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm taking Calvin Ridley. Another one. He is such a boring. Huh?
Interesting.
He's such a boring pick. He had, and I feel like I must have missed somebody looking at the thing, but he has an upgraded quarterback. He's going to get the targets on that team. So I'm going to take him here.
All right.
The league. Hold on. I'll put that pick in 1 second.
All right. I am on the clock now. And Ryan is correct. I mean, it pretty much.
It got brutal fast.
It definitely did.
This division's so bad.
I guess because it is SuperFlex, I am going to probably snipe Shane here.
You are about to snipe me. I'm going to
take the guy that I thought he was going to go with in the first round and talk about him because he did that on the last show. But I'm going to take
Sunshine.
Trevor Lawrence. I think personally he's going to have a bounce back year. I think that offense is going to be much improved. I think the addition of Travis Hunter is going to take pressure off of Brian Thomas, allow him to do his thing. And I think, I just think they're going to be a better offense this year in general. So Trevor Lawrence, I think, is on his way up, and you can get him super cheap in a lot of your leagues right now. So I'll take Lawrence here.
We're talking super cheap for the fourth. We're talking fourth, fifth player in this draft already.
Super cheap in real drafts. He's our 6th player off the board in this draft.
Sheesh.
Yeah, in real drafts, you can get him extremely late, which I like that value. He's an underrated runner too, in my opinion. Okie dokie. I think I'm just gonna only draft Jaguars. No, I'm kidding. But very tempting right here.
Yeah, what do you got, bro?
Actually, there's only 2 quarterbacks left, and I don't trust the other one's health, so I'm gonna go Cam Ward here. I'm not necessarily. I'm indifferent to Cam Ward. I think he's got average pieces around him that he can support. I think he's a good enough passer, but I'm not expecting like light up the world rookie of the year numbers.
Yeah, it is dynasty, so you get him for a couple years, and they definitely spent some draft picks on receivers on that team. So they're trying to get some pieces around him for sure. So maybe in a year or two he'll be much better. All right, Chu, you're up for the back-to-back here.
Man, we're not kidding that this thing is just getting down to the dumps real quick. Oh, well, considering this is SuperFlex, I'm not going to feel great about it, but I'm just going to go Anthony Richardson.
That's a good pick still.
I still believe in this guy. Again, I know he's so young. I know he has so few snaps under his belt, even including college. Like, I know there's a lot that could go right, but again, in his situation in Indianapolis, the instability with are you starting, are you not? I feel like there's a culture thing there that I think doesn't seem to be the best for him and a lot of other players. But I do believe in his talent. I believe that whether it's Indianapolis or another team can figure this thing out, and I'm trusting in that upside. And there's only so many quarterbacks we can pick at this point, so that's what I got.
Yeah, and since you already went Stroud in that first round, you have the sort of luxury to take Anthony Richardson and hope that he can sort of reach his potential there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't feel great about this either, but I think this is a guy who is severely underappreciated, and that's probably the weird thing to go for the running back here. I'm going to go Tony Pollard.
Oh.
I know people keep saying that it's Tyjae Spears is going to take his job. I haven't really seen anything that says that's what's going to happen. It's the new regime that brought in Tony Pollard on the deal that they did, which I think it was a 3-year deal. And after this season, I'm pretty sure they could move on from him and it wouldn't be too bad cap wise. He's not that old of a running back. And I think for what he does, I know he's not the bruising guy who's probably going to get picked next or the second pick and Joe Mixon. But he's a do-it-all running back who I think needs a kind of a substitute like Tyjae Spears, but he can still handle a bulk of the touches. He's a 1,000-yard rusher kind of guy. He can handle, 40, 50 receptions, and Cam Ward's going to need him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how a year can make a huge difference, right? When he went to Tennessee, they're like, oh, he's the number one guy. He finally can get his chance, and he kind of let us down that first year, and then last year he had a really good season, and everybody seems to be down on him this year. So I don't understand the hate for Tony Pollard. So, yeah, good stuff.
I think we liked him more when he was a backup.
Yeah, that's kind of how it always is, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, Shane, you're up here.
I don't know if you guys have looked at the tight ends in this division, but they suck.
Yes.
So I'm going to break that seal. I'm going to take Tyler Warren, especially from a dynasty perspective. I think the Colts have needed a tight end for 3 years, and they finally drafted one. So let's see what he can actually do. I think he's extremely versatile, and will hopefully fit that offense well. But the other tight ends also are just absolutely terrible. So I'm going to get the corner on that market.
The crop. I like it. All right. I was hoping you'd let this guy slip to me because I wanted Dak.
No.
I am going to take the guy that's going to be playing on both sides of the ball this year. I'm going to take Travis Hunter and stack him with my quarterback of Trevor Lawrence. I've said it, and I'll keep saying it. I'm a little worried about him being an offensive player, only because if he's playing both sides of the ball, that's twice as likely he could get hurt. When you're on the field as much as he's supposed to be on the field for, I think it could end up hurting him in the long run. But in this draft, at where we're at right now with the clip that we've already fallen off of, I'll take a chance here on Travis Hunter. Ryan, you're up for the double.
I'm gonna start out with Tank Bigsby. I think he's a back. I think he's a better back than Etienne. He showed some flashes last year, somewhat. I mean, for where we're at. But Shane, did you want him? I'm so sorry, bud.
That's Shane's boy. Shane was calling him last year.
That is my boy. I love Etienne too, but that's my boy.
Etienne just knows how to like stomp on somebody's heart and just let you down. But yeah, I think Tank here. I think he's not my second favorite back in this division. I think he has some upside if Etienne can get out of the way. But yeah. And then gosh, my second pick. I feel like I'm just dumpster diving already. I know he started on the pop, but I'm gonna take Joe Mixon. Just because he's starting back there. And I know he's injured right now, but hopefully he'll be back. I think he could eventually lose the job to Chubb, but at this point, I'm going to take who makes it a little better for me. He'll not go in.
Yeah, Bigsby didn't go in. Go ahead.
I thought I hit it. I got it. We're good.
All right, so I'm going to recap your team so far. You got Jonathan Taylor, Calvin Ridley, Joe Mixon, and Tank Bigsby going quarterbackless for the first 4 rounds.
Been there.
I'm currently on the clock. I got Nico Collins, Trevor Lawrence, and then I stacked him with Travis Hunter. And I'm looking at this list that we have currently. A couple players I'm looking at. There's the rookie Jaden Higgins that I like a lot. Michael Pittman / Josh Downs, depending on who you like out of those two guys. But I'm going to go with one guy. I know Shane made a comment earlier about the tight ends being trash. And there is one guy that has some potential here. And if you look at the last few games of every year of his career, he's always been a beast towards the end of the season. If he could just figure out a way to be a beast at the beginning of the season. This was his last 3 games last year. 8 receptions for 59 yards, 9 receptions for 81 yards on 11 targets, 5 receptions on 7 targets for 42 yards. I'm taking Chig Okonkwo here in hopes that he can finally reach his potential. Probably has the best quarterback that he's had for a while. If I could find his name, there we go. I think he is in for a big season this year. I think Cam Ward can use him as a safety blanket. He's the most experienced besides Calvin Ridley on that offense. So I like Okonkwo a lot, especially in tight end premium. Shane, you were up here at the 4-3.
I am going with Michael Pittman. I feel like people are really, 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 really down on him, and I don't really get why. Because I like Josh Downs, don't get me wrong, but Pittman's still really good. And
it's not a Pittman. It's not a Pittman thing.
It's a rich
quarterback. It's your quarterback. There's 53%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, the discount on him has gone too far.
Let me ask you this, Shane. If you're in a real dynasty league and you have Pittman, who do you want as your quarterback? Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson?
Oh, I think I actually want Jones.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Dimes is who you want if you're a Pittman. It's kind of weird saying that, but
and the thing is like Pittman and Richardson for whatever reason haven't seemed to they've had games where they've had good chemistry and good connection, but it hasn't been consistent.
Yeah, Richardson's problem is he can't throw the underneath passes, right? He has no accuracy, and that's where Pittman he goes deep downfield to Downs.
He has no accuracy anywhere.
It's true. Throw it as far as you can throw it, and then hope someone's fast enough to get
someone catches up to it.
Alec Pierce loves him. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's true. Alex Pierce has had a career basically because of throw it as far as you can, and I'll go get it.
Yeah, YOLO ball championship.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Chew, you got the back-to-back here.
Continues to get pretty gross, but I think at this point, not similar to a Pittman situation, but I think if ETN's going to fall this far, I'm just going to get him.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I know me going with two quarterbacks and 2 running backs is just a really good build for a dynasty, right? But yeah, I mean, I think ETN is still going to have a piece of this backfield. how big of a piece, I'm not too sure. This guy probably won't get back to me, but Bashal Tootin, big. I went to Virginia Tech. I'm a big fan of what he's doing, and I think he adds an explosive element that Liam Cohen wants in that backfield that doesn't currently exist. But I think Etienne's still going to eat up some carries, even if he's pretty inefficient.
Yeah, I like
insert Rashad White comp. Let's see. Next up, this is a guy I love coming out of college, and we don't like Pittman's situation of who was catching the ball from, but Josh Downs, I think he's been a sneaky good weapon in that receiving game. I don't believe really much at all in AD Mitchell, and I think it's very much Pittman and Downs as pass catchers there. They added Tyler Warren. I think that's going to eat in a little bit to what Downs does, but I think Downs does have some staying power there, and I think he should get enough targets going forward to where he's worth it.
Yeah, I like that call. And it sounds like Etienne and Downs, he snipes you for twice there, Shane.
You just double sniped me, so give me a second.
Yeah, Nemo in the chat saying Downs greater than Pittman, and he's saying that because I know in the home league that me and him are both in, he has Downs, so he's rooting for Downs over Pittman.
Don't get me wrong, I loved Josh Downs coming out of college. I think he's fearless going across the middle, but I think Pittman's just being slept on.
Yeah, he's the red.
Oh, it got ugly fast too. I think I'm just going to give a giant middle finger to Ryan. Just make sure he doesn't have a quarterback and take Danny Dimes here.
I think Ryan's okay with not having a quarterback.
He's probably fine with it, but I'll take the off.
I was planning on taking him too.
Yeah, Danny Dimes for sure. So let me ask while we're on Danny Dimes, who do y'all think, if you had to guess right now today, which quarterback starts week 1, Danny Dimes or Anthony Richardson? I'll go to you first, man.
I think Richardson starts the season, but then he's going to get hurt at some point, and Danny Dimes will take over. Or he's going to play so bad that Danny Dimes is going to take over.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel, Ryan? Chew?
It's Richardson's job to lose.
Fair enough.
They'll let him lose it. I think they'll give him enough rope to lose it, but he has to lose it.
But he will lose it.
Yeah.
All right, I am on the clock here, and as we talked about, this is Dynasty, so it is time to start taking some shots on rookies. I know I already have Nico Collins, but you know what? At this point, I'm taking Jaden Higgins from Houston. They're kind of the same player, Higgins and Collins, and I don't know how they're going to coexist in that offense. But I think he's just too good to pass up. And at this point in the league, I'm going with the rookies. Get some young guys in there that can potentially be something. So Higgins for me at the 5-3. Ryan, you got 2 picks. Your last 2 picks here. What you got?
Okay, it's getting weird. So first, I'm going to say the Jaguars last year had a ton of targets to the tight end. I know we added Travis
Damn
Hunter,
it, Ryan.
but as somebody who was always an Evan Ingram guy, that role's still available. So I'm taking Brenton Strange. And this.
Of course you are.
DFS hero right there. Last year, Brenton Strange was the guy.
But there's a ton of targets from him. There's like 47 vacated targets by Evan Ingram, and he had 41 himself. There's the potential there for him. And there's not any pass catchers, even with Hunter, to really compete with. I'm not really trusting Diami Brown and Parker Washington. There's not a lot to go around there. So I'm going to take him there.
On Parker Washington.
And then this one I feel weird about, but it was only 3 years ago this man was a 1,000-yard receiver. It's just been health, and he's filling in a role for somebody who's down with an injury, could stop, or who could start right away. It's Christian Kirk.
It's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Solid pick. He's definitely getting hated on and forgotten about for sure.
He's somebody I've been grabbing late in a lot of best balls because he should be able. He has the potential to catch a ton of balls. Tank Dell had a ton in that role. He's going to play the same role, and we know he can do it.
So here's my question: is with Christian Kirk, Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon, I'll throw Nick Chubb in there for kicks and gigs. Why are people so excited about the 2 rookies when those roles seem to be relatively filled, and that third wide receiver slot for the Texans has not necessarily been one that's been highly productive since they have Schultz. Like I just don't get it.
There's an easy answer. Rookie hype.
I was going to say the same thing. It's because they're rookies. That's it. That is it. That is the only reason why. Because they are rookies and they're the unknown, and that's all you need with the rookies. All right, I'm up for my last pick here to recap my team. Actually, let me recap Ryan's team first. He ended up with Jonathan Taylor, Calvin Ridley, Joe Mixon, Tank Bigsby, Brenton Strange, and closes it out with the veteran Christian Kirk. So he went 0 quarterback there. Love the build, though. I have currently Nico Collins, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, Chig Okonkwo, and then I just took Higgins with my last pick. And I'm going to finish things off with a backup running back that is playing behind one of the best running backs in the NFL that went in the first round of this draft, but somebody that could get some work, especially if they decide to limit Jonathan Taylor's workload a little bit. I'm going to take DJ Giddens. I got him in a lot of my dynasty drafts. God forbid Taylor goes down. I think it's Higgins' job or Giddens' job. But I do think that they're going to kind of limit Taylor a little bit and get Giddens in there to work him into some offense as well. So I'll take the shot here at the end. All right, Shane, you're up. You've been sniped pretty much the entire last round.
Basically, since I took Michael Pittman, I've been sniped.
Yes.
So cool. And I hate my team. I understand why I did what I did, but I hate my team. I have 2 players here again. So my same question that I asked about Higgins and Noel, I feel the exact same way about Bashal Tootin. He ran fast at the 40-yard dash. Fantastic. I do think that does give them some explosiveness that maybe they don't think they have with Etienne or Bigsby, but it didn't make sense to me. You've got, to me, 2 capable backs in the Jags. There were other needs that you could have addressed with that pick. I digress. So I'm between 2 players here.
Which 2 players? Talk us through your.
So I'm between Tyjae Spears and Alec A.O. Manor. And actually, I would even throw Xavier Restrepo in there. But like we mentioned earlier, the Titans spent draft capital on weapons for Cam Ward. And then they've still got Calvin Ridley. They brought in Tyler Lockett. He's got what I still think average weapons, but they're good enough, right?
Out of them.
And then Tyjae Spears is only 24 and was in a split backfield, and I think it kind of hurt last year from what I was looking at. I'm gonna go Tyjae. I think he's got the most bang for his buck right now.
Fair enough. Let's recap your team. You went Brian Thomas Jr., Cam Ward, TJ Warren, Michael Pittman Jr., Daniel Jones, and then wrapped it up there with Tyjae Spears. Pretty balanced team. 2 quarterbacks, two receivers, 1 running back, and 1 tight end. So I like it. All right, you get the last pick here.
I'm going to end it with a bang, and this is one of my favorite players as of a couple years ago, but he is yet to reclaim that great season that he had with the Dallas Cowboys, and that is Dalton Schultz. He is still kind of living off of that name, that second to last season he had in Dallas. Got hurt after that, didn't stay in town, but stayed in the same state. And I do think that despite adding all the other young weapons, I do think that at least for this season, I think he's under contract for another year after that. There's that continuity of he and Stroud, so I do think he has kind of an insulated target share of maybe 70, 80 targets a year, and I trust that here.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good call. I'll recap your team. You went double quarterback with Stroud and Richardson to start, and you went double running back with Pollard and Etienne. Took Josh Downs in the 5th, and then finished off with Dalton Schultz. Again, a well-balanced team, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, a receiver, and a tight end. Great job, fellas. Is anything that y'all see here that you were surprised about? Anybody that you thought would go, further, or someone that slipped really far?
Ryan taking Tank Bigsby when he did.
taking him over Travis Etienne too, I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I'll do that every time. I wish I had took Tyler Warren. I wish I had took Tyler Warren instead of Calvin
where
Ridley.
You took Ridley. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. I thought Travis Etienne would go a little bit higher than he did. I think you getting him there at 4-4 was a pretty late pick. I would have taken him a little bit sooner than that, but
I probably should have taken him at 4-3 and then hoped that Pittman fell to me at 5-2.
The world hates him now, though.
yeah,
They do, and I don't understand it.
yeah, yep. All right, let's get to our next segment here.
Prop bet of the week.
All right, prop bets of the week. We're going to be doing only players from the two divisions that we're doing tonight, the NFC South and the AFC South. And we're going to do one each. And the first one I have here is for you, Ryan. Baker Mayfield, over under 3,800.5 passing yards. 3,800.5 passing yards for Baker Mayfield.
He's smashing that over.
Yeah.
Unless he gets hurt. Oh my God, that's like free money. Look, we're going to talk about the weapons later, but he has weapons on weapons on weapons. I mean,
They're going to pass it 1 billion times.
They're going to pass 1 billion times. And his running backs can catch, and he has tight ends. He has 5 freaking receivers on the team.
Yeah.
He's going to have a field day. If he gets under 4,000 yards, his season's a failure.
Yeah, I was surprised at that mark as well. I said 38.
That's wild. Thank you for giving me something easy.
Yeah. All right, Shane, I left your boy here. You weren't able to draft him in the draft, but I gave you your boy here, Trevor Lawrence, over under 22.5 passing touchdowns.
I'm taking the over on this. He has to get 25, I think, for this to be remotely close to a successful season. And I think he's got the weapons to do it.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's having a bounce back year. I think 25 is probably about where he should be.
I think that that's probably got to be minimum, I think, too.
Agreed. All right, Chu, you got Bucky Irvin, who was sort of the darling last year, and he's been sort of a hype machine on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, they all love Bucky Irvin. Over under 1,025.5 rushing yards for Bucky Irvin this year.
This is the toughest one for me. I mean, I know it's only looking at 1 year, but now you have a different coordinator, although he was already there as I think the pass game coordinator, I want to say last year. But I'm going to go over, but I don't feel good about it. I think this one's going to be really, really close. I do think that there's still going to be a decent split between he and Rachaad White. And, if I'm putting money on it over, but you could tell me on the under, but this is my money, my fake money, so going over.
Yeah, going over. Like it. No one likes unders anyway, right? Who wants to bet under?
All optimism.
All right. I have Nico Collins, and I wanted to take Nico Collins because if you watch my Friday show, we actually have a drop for Collins. We call him Nico Ballins on my DFS show, and this is our drop for him.
We fly, no lie, you know it's rise outside.
He's balling. Nico Ballins over under 1,125.5 receiving yards, 1,125.5 receiving yards. And I'm going to just do 4 for 4 here. I'm going over as well. I mentioned he was sort of receiver 1 when he got hurt. Came back and still had over 1,000 yards last year. He had 1,006. He only played 12 games. So if he can play 16 or even 17 games this year, he will absolutely smash that number. So I'm going for sure over on Nico Collins for his 1,125.5 receiving yards. So that is over on Baker Mayfield's passing yards, over on Trevor Lawrence's touchdown passes, over on Bucky Irving's rushing yards, but just barely, and over on Nico Collins' receiving yards. So we just went all overs. All right, let's get to the NFC South mock draft.
Attention, everyone. Let's mock draft.
All right, let's get the NFC South up here. I'm sorry, the NFC, NFC South. Let me get on my phone here, hit the start button. And Shane, you got the 101 on this one.
Yeah, and you know what I'm going to do here. You should know what I'm going to do here.
Bryce Young.
I'm taking my boy.
Spencer Rattler.
My guy, SuperFlex. We just talked about him. He's going to smash over 3,800 yards easily. Should have 40 touchdowns. Passing, I could see a few rushing touchdowns in there. He's going to have rushing yards too. I love Baker Mayfield. That's it.
Yeah, definitely can't go wrong with Baker in the SuperFlex format for sure in this division. All right, Chew, you're up here at the 102.
This makes it pretty easy for me. It is SuperFlex, but got to go Bijan. I mean, if we're just looking at building a dynasty, if it's not going to be Baker, who is far and away the best quarterback in this league, I'm going with the next best player overall. No offense to Drake London, and that is Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, definitely would be my would be hard pressed to take a quarterback over him. I think if I was the 101 there, but I get why Shane went Baker because quarterbacks are pretty thin in this division as well. All right, I'm up at the 103, and I'll go with the aforementioned guy that you just said, Mr. Drake London. I think he's going to be a target machine this year. He was a target machine last year. I think him and Michael Penix are going to have a great season. London has finally come into reach his potential that he thought he would have in the first season, and he's become a monster ever since. So I can't pass up Drake London here, not even for one of those quarterbacks. So that's who I got. Ryan, you got the back-to-back.
Wow, Jeff, I thought for sure London was going to follow me and you were going to take Kyle Pitts there. Like, I thought you were making that move. I'm going with another guy we spoke about just a few minutes ago. I'm thinking Bucky Irving. Even if he doesn't get that over, he's still 52 targets in the passing game and incredibly active and will get goal line touches because this is an absolutely explosive offense. And then I'm really struggling between this pick, going with what's smart, and I'm really struggling between three guys here.
We're not here to be smart.
I'm debating quarterback, but it's not fun. And then I'm between the boring receiver and the fun one. And I just still believe in the player. I know his quarterback situation stinks. I have no faith in that team at all, but I still love Chris Olave's talent. And I can't stop it. I just can't. I can't stop Chris Olave. It's such a dumb pick, but I love him as a player. Like he only played 8 games last year, so he would have probably been near 1,000 yards on a horrendous offense. It hasn't gotten better, but I still like the player. And again, we're talking dynasty, so he's still only 24.
Yeah, if he's
still younger than some rookies.
Like 180 targets, I think, because who else they can throw the ball to on that team besides Alvin Kamara?
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
But means.
You've seen the quarterbacks that they have? I don't think they can get it to Rashid Shaheed down the field.
Awesome.
I hate that pick so much. I hate it so much.
We got Robbie in the chat, a fellow Carolina Panthers fan here. He's telling me we should go Bryce Young 101 and that we should take Chuba at 102. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, I'm back on the clock, and I know it's a dynasty, and this running back is a little bit older, but he doesn't have quite the miles. If you look at his carries over the years, I'm taking Alvin Kamara here. I talked him up a lot for Scott Fishbowl, and I think he's going to have an amazing season. I think they're going to be 1 billion dump-off passes to Alvin Kamara. Like I said, he does got some mileage on him. They did re-sign him to a longer contract. Mileage-wise, as far as the bruising, over the middle type runs, he doesn't have those. I don't think he's even had 1,000 yards rushing season yet in his career. He's mostly a pass catcher, so he's a glorified receiver out of the backfield. So I think Alvin Kamara's got at least 2 more years left. So even in Dynasty, I like Kamara this year. Chew, you're up at the 2-3 here.
I mean, it's getting good. There's a lot of talent here. All right, well, I'm going to go basically the opposite of what I did in the AFC South, and I'm going to still go no quarterback here. And while the smarter thing would probably be to go receiver, I'm going to go ahead and appease Breedlove, but I'm going to do it one out of order. I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard here. I am a huge fan. He earned that contract last season. I know they brought in Rico Dowdle, who I do think is very much a substitute more than a compliment in terms of what he can do. But I think that's more of an emphasis on how much they're going to run the ball, because I'm hoping they can. They tried to do it last year, and Canales kept freaking out because they kept getting way behind, and they had to switch to throwing the ball to Adam Thielen 5,000 times. So I do think they can actually do what they want to do, and Chuba Hubbard can still have a ridiculous share of the carries and still be worth being like top 15 at worst, top 20 running back by the end of the year.
Yeah, I like it. I like it for sure. All right, Shane, you went Baker Mayfield with your first pick. You got the back-to-back here.
I do, and I am going to disappoint Chew in his ability to draft Bryce Young. But first, I'm going to take his new number one weapon in Ted McMillan.
Nice.
And stack it with Bryce Young.
Nice. The back-to-back. I like it.
So, I don't know. I've been a huge Bryce Young fan, even despite being an Auburn fan. I've said that he, when he has time, it's like he's stuck in the matrix as Neo. Everything slows down for him. And I think another year under Canales with more weapons, better offensive line play, he's going to have a good year.
I like it. Only in the world of the NFC South mock draft can you get 3 straight Carolina Panthers.
And love it.
You know what? It still blows away the AFC South.
Yes, absolutely does. Yeah.
Like we're still making first round picks in the AFC South right now.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Chew, you're on the clock here. 3-2.
Well, I mean, I could go with Adam Thielen or something to keep the trend going, but sorry to break the Panthers trend. I'm going to go quarterback here. Going to go Michael Penix. Liked him coming out of Washington. I do think he has a good amount of weapons there. I'm a big Darnell Mooney fan. I thought when they got him in Atlanta, it really gave him a chance to be a good number 2, which is what he was meant to do. No offense to his career in Chicago. So I really do think Penix is going to kind of pick up where he left off from last season. And Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. I mean, the weapons are there, and I mean, the defense still kind of sucks, so that he's going to need to throw.
Yeah, I like it. All right. London and Kamara were my first 2 picks here, and I was going to go quarterback, but then y'all went Bryce Young and Michael Penix back to back.
Is it Cal Pitts time?
I don't think I could pick the I can't pick Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shaw or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Shuck.
Tyler Shuck. Oh, shucks. All right, so I'm gonna have to keep myself with this old theme. I guess I'm going for win now, but I'm taking Mr. Consistent. Obviously, with his 11 straight, 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Taking Mike Evans here, and he's gonna give me 1,000 yards once again. All right, Ryan, you got the back-to-back here.
Let's just stick with his running mate there. We're talking about 4,500 yards for Baker Mayfield. Just toss Chris Godwin in there for me.
I like that.
And you know what? We're talking dynasty and long term. And you know what? If Godwin isn't healthy at the beginning of the season, toss an Emeka Ibuka in there as well. Let's just double up.
Come on.
Nice.
Let's cover our bases just in case.
You made up for your Olave pick.
3 Panthers from the second into the third round, and now we just go 3 Bucks receivers from the third round into the fourth round. All right, I am back on the clock, and I am looking at a pretty ugly bunch of players here. But you know what? I don't usually handcuff my players. I'm doing a lot of things that I don't normally do. I went old with Alvin Kamara and Mike Evans. But I do like Mr. Devin Neal. I've been drafting him in all of my startups / rookie drafts. I've been getting Neal wherever I can get him. I actually got him in the Scott Fish Bowl as well, because I also took Kamara in that division. So I think Devin Neal is going to be a good replacement. I think he can be this year's Bucky Irving. I don't think he'll get the usage that Bucky Irving will get because Alvin Kamara will get most of it. But I do think he was a late round pick. Or later round pick than we thought he was going to go. But I think Devin Neal has some shiftiness and some ability that could sort of help him in the long term. So I like Devin Neal here. Chew, you're up at the 4-3.
It's getting thinner.
Like my hair.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. It's scared of my head at this point. Yeah.
Same thing, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank God Jeff has that Coke dealer hair to keep us all safe.
We live vicariously through Jeff, everyone, always. You know what? Jeff, I don't mean to disappoint you here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Kyle Pitts. You know, at this point, none of the tight ends are tremendously worth it. And I'm not really saying Kyle Pitts is tremendously worth it. I have some level of optimism, not for Pitts to ascend to whatever we thought he was going to be, but even if he's just kind of an average across the season tight end and like have some weekly spikes, I think that is what can happen in this offense. I believe this Zach Robinson run offense from LA. So optimism there, but I know it's a pretty low floor.
I like the Panthers fan now has 3 Atlanta Falcons on his team.
It hurts a little bit.
Do you need a hug chew?
It would help.
Jeff, it's 2.0 tight end premium, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so my first pick, I'm so glad you guys left him for me, is Darnell Mooney. Best option left on the board, in my opinion. And he's still, I think he's 26, maybe 27. He's 27. So he's still got good mileage available on him. And then I am going to take Cade Otton to stack with Baker. There's Juwan Johnson is an unknown or inconsistent known, and Jatavian Sanders is completely unknown. I like him from an upside standpoint, but I'm going to take Cade Otton and solidify that.
Good stuff. Let me go ahead and recap what you have so far. You got Baker, you got Ted McMillan, you got Bryce Young, Darnell Mooney, and you just picked Cade Otton. So you got a pretty rounded off team there. You got no running backs yet, so we'll see what happens in round 6. Chew, you're up. Your team so far: Bijan Robinson, Chuba Hubbard, Michael Penix, Kyle Pitts, and you were up now at the 5th. What you got?
Continues to be rough. God, it's so funny how long the quarterback's sitting out there. And I don't believe in him enough to take him now. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and it's probably a little too soon, but probably not. I'm going to go ahead and hedge my bets with Chuba Hubbard, and I'm going to snag Rico Dowdle. That's really more so. I know it's dynasty, but you know, he's not tremendously old. And I think, God forbid, if Hubbard were to go down, we know what the team wants to do, and he's going to do the same damn thing that Chuba Hubbard's going to do, an all-around running back behind a top third rushing protection offensive line. So go Rico Dowdle.
Yep, I like it. All right, I am back on the clock at, let's see, my team so far: Drake London, Alvin Kamara, Mike Evans, and Devin Neal. And I think I'm going to also dip into the tight ends here. And I think I'm going to go with the guy that Shane did not really like when he took his pick. But I like Jatavian Sanders a little bit. I do think, you know, he's a young player, hasn't had a chance to really get in there. I know he split time last year, but he's more of the receiving type tight end over his counterpart, who actually is listed as a starter. I think Tommy Tremble is listed as a starter. But I like Jatavian Sanders.
Notre Dame great, Tommy Tremble.
Yeah, so actually took Sanders in the Scott Fishbowl real late too, hoping that he can do something this year. But in the 2-point PPR tight end premium league, I think he's worth it at this point. All right, Ryan, you're up for the back-to-back, your last 2 picks here.
So I'm taking somebody who I just view as a premium handcuff in the league, and that's Tyler Algier. He still has some solo appeal, but if something, God forbid, would happen to Bijan, he's in line for just an enormous workload, and we know he's kind of about who can produce in that.
Yep, good call.
After him, I'm just, oh God, this is hard. I'm going to take Raheem Shaheed. I think he's the number wide receiver 2 on the team. We spoke about Olave's health earlier. I'm just going to go with him to keep myself safe.
All right.
So gross.
You definitely sniped me there, as I was hoping to get Rashid Shaheed with my pick here. Man, there is really not a whole lot left. I'm looking at Tyler Shuck. I'm looking at Rashad White. I'm looking at the 2 Panthers receivers, either the old man Adam Thielen or Xavier Legette. I guess because I don't have a quarterback, it is SuperFlex. He is likely to be their starter. I don't know how good he's going to be, but I will take the aforementioned Tyler Shuck. Is that how you say his name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible
Yep.
way. That's just an awful last name.
It rhymes with a 4-letter word that people will say a lot once they watch him play. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. All right.
Yuck.
Let me recap
that's what it was.
Ryan's team and my team, and then Chew, you can make your pick. Ryan goes with Bucky Irving, Chris Olave, Chris Godwin, Emeka Mbuka, Tyler Algier, and wraps it up with Rashid Shaheed. So again, no quarterback for Ryan. It's kind of his theme so far. I go Drake London. I went old with Alvin Kamara, Mike Evans, and then I go young with Devin Neal and Jatavian Sanders, and then of course finish it off with Tyler Shuck. And Chew, you're up. Your team so far is Bijan Robinson, Chuba Hubbard, Michael Penix, Kyle Pitts, and Rico Dowdle. So who is your last pick here?
So I might as well get a receiver at this point, and probably not the one that is expected. This is Dynasty, so no offense to Adam Thielen. I do believe this is his last year, but his heir apparent is going to be Jalen Coker. I really believe in this guy, a fellow undrafted player that it stepped in and had a huge role last season as Bryce Young in this offense was ascending. Xavier Legette, no offense. I did not understand the pick when they made it, whether it would have been in the first round like they moved up to or even in the second round. But Coker, I do think, actually has the skills and ability to kind of take on the Adam Thielen role, work inside and outside, and I think that's what Bryce Young's going to need.
So you didn't understand the pick, and then when you drafted him, you probably didn't understand him either. That pick, I just like watching his interviews. I hope that he has a long career just so we can hear his interviews for the rest of his career. But
I
100%.
want him and Jameis to have a podcast together once they're
Oh my
done.
God. And Keon Coleman just for
oh my
guilty
god, that would
gigs.
be awesome. That would be awesome. I would watch it for sure. All right, Shane, let's recap your team. We got Baker Mayfield, Ted McMillan, Bryce Young, Darnell Mooney, Cade Otton, and what is your final pick?
That's a really good question, Jeff.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I don't have a running back, and I have two in my queue that I'm looking at. But then I've also got Xavier Legette because I did like the pick. I'm gonna go with the smarter route though, and I'm gonna go Rashad White. So complete a little super stack with Baker and get the what people see as the pass catching option in that offense. Even though I think Bucky is gonna see more pass catching as well.
Yeah, I like Rashad White. He still has a
Wait, like I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I think he has a role. I think, a lot of times in fantasy, we want to give these guys the starter role and make them the lead guy, when sometimes it's best for the NFL team to have two good running backs to use in scenarios.
Well, the bell cow back has significantly died off over the last 3 to 4 years, where bell cow now means they get 60% of the snaps, whereas 3 years ago they were getting 80% plus. And really there's only a couple of guys that get that, Derrick Henry being one, Bijan. I don't even know if Bijan's there, but like if you look at the Lions, like they've got Gibbs and Montgomery. You've got Etienne and Bigsby. You've got Rashad White and Bucky Irving. Like I think the Chargers will have Najee and Hampton.
Yeah, and Hampton, yep.
Like there's all, and last year the Steelers had Najee and Warren. Like there's so many teams that are going with at least two running backs getting 40% of the snaps that it makes it harder for fantasy purposes to be like, hey, I want this guy, unless he's just a bona fide superstar.
Right, exactly. All right, good stuff, gentlemen. That wraps up tonight's show. We'll go around the room real quick. Give us your Twitter handle if you're working on anything. Obviously, Shane, plug the Polly's playoff one more time. And we'll go to you first, actually, Shane.
Cool. You guys can follow me on Twitter at FFShaneB or at Polly's Playoff. I just went and looked, and we need at least 11 people to still sign up. But signups will stay open for probably 2 to 3 more weeks, roughly. Looking to draft the week before, starting the Monday before the Expo. I can't remember what that date is in August, but that Monday is when Polly's Playoff will start. So couple days before then, I got to get invites out. So registrations will stay open until then, which is like early mid-August. So we need at least 11 people to get to 8 leagues. Would love to get to 10 leagues or more, because we've had plenty more than that over the last few years. But yeah, you can sign up through the tweet pinned to Polly's Playoff on Twitter.
Good stuff. Chew?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Father Dynasty and check out my Substack, either on Substack or at fatherdynasty.com. And yeah, Jeff, just glad to be here. And I know we had to talk the South, which kind of brought the mood down south a little bit, but yeah, I think we had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. We made the best of it for sure. Ryan?
Twitter 534. Find me here Wednesday nights. Won't be here next week, but find me normally here. And then find me over at the Rookie Big Board with the Dynasty Big Board podcast.
Good stuff. All right. I want to tease something that I've been working on, and it may be a year before it's fully ready to be released. But I am building a new website, something that I think in the fantasy space has not been done, which is surprising to me. I am building a fantasy Hall of Fame, and I've already picked the first inductees, and I'm building the team page. I'm going to have a bunch of cool stats, and I'm going to try to make it more than just a stat-driven page with like, oh, this guy had 1,000 yards every season or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to find interesting stories, talking to some of the fantasy players, talking about, trying to get some cool stuff to put into each page. But be on the lookout for that. I haven't quite got a name for it yet. I think Fantasy Hall of Fame is kind of generic. That's what I've been calling it right now. But maybe I'll have something better once I finally release it. So be on the lookout for that. It might be a while before it comes out, but I just wanted to put it out there as a teaser. All right. With that said, for Ryan, for Chew, for Shane, I'm Jeff, and we will see y'all next week.